When you are starting a tax business, there are so many mistakes that you can make. That is why in this video, I am going to share with you 5 things that you do not want to do. I also want you to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you stay to the end of this video, I am going to give you my #1 strategy for really parlaying your business to the next level. Let's definitely get after it. I am going to jump over to my iPad. I want to write down this for you so that you can really take very good detailed notes, and then we are going to talk about it. Let's go. Let me jump right over here to the iPad. I've had my tax business for a very long time, so I can certainly tell you mistakes that you will make and you want to absolutely avoid. The #1 mistake that you want to avoid, #1, is pricing, underpricing. Underpricing your services is never a good idea to land the business. Do not underprice your services. You have to charge clients for what you are worth. And I want to tell you, clients do not pay for things that they do not value. From the moment you engage with that client, if you underprice your services, it is going to be too hard to increase your prices. So you have to say to yourself, when you're starting out, what is it I am trying to make on an annual basis, and price your services accordingly. You are better than the average H&R Block. You're better than the average Jackson Hewitt. You know more than the average tax preparer. You have to price your services correctly. And what I want you to do is I want you to do a survey. Take a survey of local offices, tax prep offices that are in your surrounding area. See what they are charging, and then I want you to charge much higher than that. If they are, for example, charging $500 for 1040 or $300 for 1040, you're going to add at least $100 to that fee, because for people to work with you, you are bringing extra value. You care about them. You're going to make sure they get the lowest tax liability possible. So you absolutely have to price your services accordingly. Okay, that's the #1 thing. Avoid underpricing. The second thing that I want you to avoid, and this is really important, the second thing, #2, do not be all things to all people. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, do not try to do work that you cannot do. Do not try to be an accountant if you don't know how to use QuickBooks. Don't do tax returns for rental properties if you don't understand that. Do not try to bring on every single client as your client. Do not try to be all things to all people, because when you try to be all things to all people, what ends up happening is you really don't understand maybe all the nuances of that particular type of industry. For example, if you're dealing with people that own Amazon businesses, logistics industry, then maybe you're going to understand that. But when you try to be all things to all people and you try to tell your clients, oh yes, I could do that. Oh yes, I can do that. You know what you end up doing? You end up backing yourself in a corner. You have to do an excessive amount of research. You don't really understand it. You push it off and you end up backlogging work. So #2, do not try to be all things to all people. It is not going to be worth it to you in the long run. But what I do want you to do is Definitely, the third thing that I want to make sure that you're able to do, number three, the number three thing that I want you to do is niche. Select a niche. Select a niche market. Selecting a niche market is important. And when I say a niche market, you may want to do stuff in the service industry. That could be a niche market, the service industry. Maybe you're dealing with people that do side hustles. Maybe you're dealing with people that work for Uber or work for Lyft. So maybe you're going to focus on Uber drivers. Definitely niche, because a mistake is not to niche, and you want to avoid that. The reason why you want to niche is because if you can understand a certain type of service, you will get good at it. Other people will refer you to it, and you will be able to make money very quickly. When you are doing something, the first time you do it, it becomes difficult. But when you do it the second time, it's easier. The third time, it's easier. Now you really know about that. A lot of tax preparers go into this industry and they are not niching. They are trying to do everything. You are not going to do that. You are actually going to niche down and get certain things that you do well. Maybe you're going to start off doing firefighters, police officers, people that own rental property, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers. Niche down. And when you do a niche and you start putting your advertisement around that, your business is really going to go. So I want you to avoid the mistake of not niching. The fourth mistake that I want you to avoid is long hours, right? Don't start working long hours. Why do I say that? Because whatever you start, you have to finish. Don't even start working those long hours. And I want to come back full screen on this one. When I first started this industry, I used to work until 10 o'clock at night. I would have clients coming in late. And whether you are in brick and mortar or you are doing this online, you don't want clients coming to you at 10 o'clock at night. You don't want clients coming to you on Saturdays and Sundays. I was working long hours and really trying to accommodate clients. The thing that I am going to tell you is do not do that. You want to set some parameters around your schedule, and you want to own your schedule. People are going to respect you when you tell them the hours that you are available to work. If you want to do some evening hours, set aside some evening hours. Maybe you're going to do evenings on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Maybe you're going to do mornings on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Maybe you're going to do half day Saturdays, maybe one Saturday a month, but establish your hours that you're willing to work, and do not try to work morning, noon, night, Saturdays and Sundays. You're going to burn out. You're going to be exhausted. And in the long run, you're going to really find out that the money is not going to be worth it. So do not get into this habit of working all of these crazy hours. Take it from someone that did that. It took me years to smarten up. You're going to get this shortcut, and you're not going to do it from the very beginning. Okay? All right. The next strategy, I'm going to go back over to my iPad for the next strategy that we're going to be talking about. And so we talked about the long hours. So the next strategy is going to be actually focusing on seasonal money. Don't just focus on seasonal money. Seasonal money. What do I mean by that? Let me tell you what I mean by seasonal money. You guys know we're in tax season, and it pretty much kicks off when IRS opens up their e-file system, right? And they open up the e-file system somewhere around January 15th, 20th, 23rd, all the way through April 15th, right? And of course, it stays open past April 15th. But don't just focus on seasonal money. You don't want to do that. Most tax preparers are only thinking about, let me see how much money I can make from January through April 15th. And then maybe you come back and you pick up extension season, picking up the September 15 deadline for your flow through entities, and then the October 15 deadline for your clients that you are extending. Don't just focus on seasonal money. When you are launching your tax business, you want to be in business all year long. You don't want to have to work like a crazy person, be exhausted during tax season, missing your family, working long hours, not being able to participate in things that your friends are doing. You don't want to do that. You don't want to just focus on that seasonal money. You really want to focus on that long-term money, year-round money, and establish a schedule that is going to allow you to be paid all year long. That is why literally you need to get into the advisory model, get into the planning so that you can predict your income all year and not just be locked in to only making income 75 days out of the year and then trying to budget the remainder of the year. There is so much money to be made 365 days a year, and I want to make sure that you go after it. So I want you to avoid the mistakes that I talked to you about. Avoid underpricing your services. Avoid trying to be all things to all people. Avoid not niching, okay? Avoid that. Avoid only going after that seasonal money. Avoid it. That is going to take you further longer. Now, I told you if you stayed to the end that I would give you one of my secrets on what I learned to parlay my income higher and higher. And this is what you want to do. Conversations with clients equal revenue. Conversations with clients equal revenue. What I want you to do during tax season is make sure you schedule an appointment with your client for after tax season. So you already have that appointment on the books. You're going to get on the phone with that client and you're going to talk to them about what's going on. And that is going to give you an opportunity to figure out what's going on with the client and offer the client some additional services. One of those services should be doing tax planning with the client because that's money that is going to be there all year long. So make sure you use my tip, you book that appointment with the client so that you have some built-in opportunity after tax season to literally get in front of your clients and to generate more revenue for yourself. Now that you know better, you absolutely have to do better. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe so that I can continue to update you on things that you should be doing to parlay your business further, faster.